Hey fellow Star Citizens, Scrapchat here. Just wanted to give everyone a heads up that as of April 11th at 2000 UTC, the RSI Scorpius Antares and the Drake Vulture will no longer be available for purchase in the Pledge Store. The RSI Scorpius Antares is a two-seater heavy fighter with a strong resemblance to the X-Wing from Star Wars and has an EMP and a quads that can be managed by the co-pilot. No mention of the original RSI Scorpius being removed from the Pledge Store at this time though. It's currently available in the Pledge Store for $210 War Bond or $230 in store credit or upgrade. I personally enjoy flying the Antares. If I was new to either Star Citizen or the Bounty Loop, I think I would go for the much cheaper Anvil Arrow or Aegis Gladius. Both of these are light fighters, and while I'm not a Gladius fanboy, either of these ships could easily do the same job as the Antares. And as you can see here, I do enjoy the Antares. I just think that there are other options that are at least as good at a much lower price point. The inclusion of the EMP and quads is a nice to have option, but it's only useful if you have a co-pilot to operate those devices. Not saying the Antares is junk, just saying that there is a lot of competition for the job it does in Star Citizen, and I would question its value. On the other hand, the Drake Vulture is one of the only two ships dedicated to the salvage game loop, and is available for $150 War Bond or $175 with store credit or upgrade. The only other ship that is dedicated to salvage is the Aegis Reclaimer, which the last time it was for sale in the Pledge Store went for $400. The Vulture is a single-seater salvage vessel capable of earning its owner 130,000 AUC per trip at filled capacity. The salvage game loop is similar to mining Quantanium in the belt. You scan around one of the bands in the Aran Halo until you find some salvageable wreckage, and you spend a very relaxing hour scraping holes, knowing no one will bother you as you go about your work. The big difference between this and mining for Quantanium is that there is no splitting rocks and no volatile cargo that needs to be stored, otherwise your ship explodes. Just a leisurely drive back to the closest major city where you can sell your RCM. The price point of $150 to $175 is good for a ship that will give you access to a very lucrative game loop in Star Citizen. The Vulture really has no competition in its class. Of these two ships, the one that concerns me the most about having it removed from the Pledge Store is the Drake Vulture. The Scorpius is just another fighter, really. Nothing special, honestly. In fact, of all of my fighters in my hangar, it's probably the least favorite. Given the choice between my Arrow, Gladius, or Antares, I'd probably choose the Antares last. And to be honest, there's a lot of competition for the role the Antares fills in the Pledge Store. The Vulture, on the other hand, is singular in its role as a salvage vehicle unless you want to spend 15 million AUC or $400 on the Aegis Reclaimer. This means losing the Vulture will cut off any new players from being able to participate in the salvage game loop until one of the ship sales happen, which would be fine if there were other ships available in the Pledge Store that could fill a similar role, but there just aren't any. So if you've been running around in the PTU with your Drake Vulture and think salvage is something you would like to pursue in the persistent universe, you may want to make your purchasing decision soon. Or if you love the thought of being seen flying around in an X-Wing wannabe when you're completing your bounty missions, you better run and pick up your Antares now. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Scrapchat out.